The Texas Parks and Wildlife television series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchases of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $50 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year. Additional support provided by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Coming up on Texas Parks and Wildlife.
Definitely the whole experience, getting away from the everyday hustle and bustle of going to work, leaving the job behind. It feels good to get away and just experience nature.
It's 6 a.m. here at the Franklin Mountain State Park, and we're here to hike with our dogs.
Over 360 species recorded over the years. Hornsby is one of the better spots to bird in Central Texas.
Texas Parks and Wildlife, a television series for all outdoors.
It's going that way first, and you're shooting a different one now? Yeah. Okay. Pull. Oh, wow, it's been a while.
Not what we want on the hunting channel.
The opening of dove season in Texas is just a few hours away, and James Montgomery is getting in a little shooting practice.
You haven't shot a gun in 2 years, so I got to knock the rust off here. Pull. Okay, cool. There we go. I think I hit about maybe 5%, but I hit my last shot, so I'm going in tomorrow good. So it's going to be a good day.
This is James Montgomery, Austin resident, businessman, family man, father, coach, dove hunter.
Definitely the whole experience, getting away from the everyday hustle and bustle of going to work, leaving the job behind, leaving soccer practice, behind. It feels good to get away and just experience nature. So they're scared of me now.
James didn't grow up in a hunting family, so he came to hunting in a roundabout way.
I grew up playing soccer and football, missed out on Boy Scouts, never got involved in the outdoors. Didn't find hunting until in my mid-20s or so.
That's when a friend invited James to go dove hunting.
And I think I bagged maybe 2 birds. Yeah, I got a sore shoulder and a great experience out of the deal. Ever since then, I've been hooked.
The great thing about dove hunting is you don't need to grow up in it. As far as having a place to go, there's a lot of public opportunities available for dove hunting that Texas Parks and Wildlife provide.
There's right at 1 million acres of public hunting land available through the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department's annual public hunting permit program.
What about the water? We got a little bit of water over here.
That land includes wildlife management areas, state parks, and land leased from private landowners and companies.
For the most part, you just need some shells and a shotgun and a hunting license. You can be good to go and have a great opportunity to get in the outdoors and get an experience and get the introduction to hunting in Texas.
Yes, good boy. Good boy.
Hey, James, let's work this pole a little bit, buddy.
Mom, I saw one!
While James didn't discover the outdoors until he was in his 20s, he's starting his kids out early, hoping to instill in them at a young age a love for nature.
Why is it heavy?
Why is it heavy? Well, because they're tugging on you.
So my kids are 4 and 6 years old, and I believe that they're a little young for hunting. Hold it up, buddy.
Hey.
I think fishing is probably one of the best ways to introduce the kids outdoors because it's a safe sport and it helps them appreciate nature.
Ah! What was that?
Flat, buddy. You're all right. Watch your bobber. Well, more than anything, I want another reason to go out and hang out with my boys as much as possible. Pull it. There you go. There's too many gadgets and devices that keep our attention and keep us focused on being inside of the house.
Put it down on the bed.
I want another reason to come outside and enjoy nature. Want to see a twerking video real quick?
For James, this hunting season starts inside on his iPad.
I am purchasing my hunting license online. Combination hunting and fishing, super combo. Beats going to the store, especially when we don't have time to go down there and stand in line. All done. That was easy.
The opening day of dove season finally arrives. James is ready. He's got his license, he's had some practice, and he's got a case of shells.
A case? You know, I'm planning on shooting a lot of birds. Or missing a lot of birds, one of the two. Go! The opening day hunt was a little rough for me. I missed the previous year. It was almost like it was my first hunt. Shot out a bunch. I missed quite a few birds.
A long shot.
But yeah, we had a good time.
This rate, we're gonna be grilling hamburger.
James is hunting with friends on the Bird Family Ranch in Fife, Texas. Brian Franca is the leaseholder. He's been hunting here for about 5 years.
I got wings here, so. On opening day, you know, people were all around the field. There were probably 15 or 20 of us. Woo! I thought I picked the wrong spot. I thought they put me there for a reason. I was like, this is why they put me here, because the birds don't fly this way. Across the field, you can hear gunshots after gunshots. Like, wow, we gotta move around. Eventually, you know, the wind shifted and the birds started coming my way.
Oh, wow.
It got a lot more exciting really quickly.
Good shot, go!
That makes it all worth it right there.
Did we each get one out of that group?
Dove hunting has always been a family affair for Brian. He's brought along his son Ty.
I don't go hunting without him.
Son,
as well as his dad.
don't you go out there and take my birds.
Brian's dad is great to have out there when you're hunting. He is everybody's spotter.
Hey, go over your left shoulder. Over your left shoulder.
When he sees a bird,
Hi.
he's gonna let you know it.
Come in between you, mine.
He's gonna call your name, you're gonna hear him.
Jimbo, Jimbo. Brian, Brian, Brian. Justin, Justin.
Even through your ear protection.
James, straight at you. He got one.
He's great to have around, and it just makes it that much more fun.
Right there, Ty. Right there.
Ty's 10 years old. You know, I'm 3 times his age at least, and he was making me look bad out there.
Good shot, Ty.
Initially, I was trying to put the bead right on the bird, and you have to realize these things are fast, so you have to lead the bird, as Ty pointed out.
You gotta shoot a little in front of it.
You gotta leave your ego in the car when you go hunting, and just take all the coaching you can get. It was slow at first, and it picked up. It made it all worth it. Just gotta have a little patience.
Brian, how many you got? A lot?
Brian realizes that he has probably 10 times more experience than I do at this.
Take him, James.
He'll let some birds fly by him to help me out.
Take him.
To make sure that we're all having a good time.
There you go, James.
Woo! The good news is that I didn't limit out this morning, so I got to come out again to shoot some more. I got 4 birds in the bag. Hey, I'm having a good time, so I'm not at work. It's going great. I didn't grow up in the hunting family, but I'm glad I found it. I cannot wait to take James and Noah out hunting, fishing and camping, and all the things that I experienced late in life. I want to start super early with them, just doing fun things and connecting and having some good quality time together.
Now, about that case of shells he needed for opening day.
Maybe 1 box of shells left. Hey, it's great for the economy, keeping Academy in business.
That last one was a tough shot. It's a coin flip on who got it, me or you.
I was pretty sure that one was mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I felt it. We'll flip a coin.
Oh, it's okay.
Hi, this is Jeff Martinez with El Chile Cafe and Cantina in Austin, Texas. Today we're going to be doing some wild game cooking. We're using dove today. It's a lean, tender, dark meat. We're making a buffalo dove breast with a celery and carrot salad and a blue cheese dressing. Let's get started. We're going to take our dove breast, we're going to dredge it in the flour. Make sure you coat them all over. This flour is gonna help the buttermilk stick to the dove breast. Here's the buttermilk right here, right in there. Make sure they're coated all over with buttermilk. And then right back into the flour. The buttermilk's gonna help the flour stick to the dove breast. Make sure they're evenly coated with the flour, just like so. All right, then we're gonna go straight into the oil. You want your oil to be at 375 degrees. That'll give you a nice brown, crusty coating on the outside while cooking the dove through. While those are cooking, we're gonna go ahead and make our salad. So we've got some celery, some shaved carrots, a little bit of red onion, and I like to use all of the vegetables, so I've got some celery leaves here from the top, and some buttermilk dressing to finish it off. Toss that around. Make sure you coat all the vegetables with the dressing. And that buttermilk dressing will take away some of the bite of the buffalo sauce. All right, there we go. Let's check our dove breasts. We're gonna pull these out of the oil, take them right to this paper towel to drain. So this dove recipe reminds me a lot of when I was younger. My pop would take me dove hunting right outside of San Antonio at the family ranch. After the hunt, we'd all sit around and kind of tell stories and stuff, and I always had something to look forward to every year. That was dove season.
Take them.
To get more information on dove hunting, check out Texas Parks and Wildlife's website. So these dove breasts look like they're ready to go. I've got my homemade buffalo sauce here. It's a mix of sriracha, butter, vinegar, a little Worcestershire sauce. I'm gonna throw these right in. I'm gonna mix them up, make sure I coat them evenly, and I'm gonna go ahead and put them on top of the salad. And then I'm gonna finish it all off with a little blue cheese. So this is a new twist on an old favorite, buffalo wings, and it's also a great way to end your dove hunt. Buen provecho, y'all.
It's 6 a.m. here at the Franklin Mountain State Park, and we're here to hike with our dogs. So today we're doing our Bark in the Park hike, introducing new hikers, both dogs and people, to beginner-friendly trails. All the dogs that come in the morning are all starting to get adjusted to this new environment. It's going to be a lot of barking, a lot of excitement. We let the dogs get it all out of their system, get to know each other, and it doesn't take much time at all for the dogs to settle down and make some new friends. So today we're starting at 6 in the morning. We wanted to be able to beat the heat since we're still kind of in our hot summer season. We chose the Lower Sunset Trail. This is going to be about 2.5 miles, and it's slightly on the more advanced level of a beginner level trail. So there's going to be some incline, there's going to be some rough spots, but for the most part this is a pretty beginner friendly hike that we can take. It circumnavigates one of the ridges here, and it's really beautiful. Adoptable dogs will come out, and so today we're actually going to have 7 adoptable dogs join us. People love dogs for the most part, and you really see some camaraderie happen out there on the trail. A good rule of thumb for hiking out with your pets is stopping every 30 minutes or so. We'll stop and assess situations to make sure that the dogs are still behaving and enjoying themselves. Then be thinking a little bit more about your dog's nutrition and health. So you want to make sure that you check your pet's pads. At least offer your dog some water or treat. Because we do have wildlife out here, the pets are to remain on leashes throughout the time that they're out here in the park, in case they scare up something unexpected like a rattlesnake. We're protecting the wildlife, but we're also protecting our pets. Usually we talk about leave no trace in regards to people, but dogs, since they're our responsibility, we want to make sure that they're leaving no trace as well. Sometimes you got to carry that with you throughout the hike. Sometimes you want a little bit more of an adventure. Some people just like to have some of that social interaction. It's a fun environment, it's a learning environment, and we do this at a slow pace so everybody can have a good time. Even if people aren't looking for the tips or the suggestions, just having the opportunity to hike with some other dogs, get some good training in, or even maybe hang out in the back and just enjoy the scenery, you're always welcome.
Couple ruddy ducks.
It's a frigid morning just after sunrise, and these volunteers are counting birds.
There's a killdeer if you want to look in the scope. On the second Saturday every month, sponsored by Travis Audubon, there's a monthly bird survey, and we do it rain or shine, hot or cold. Wasn't it like 70 degrees 3 days ago?
If the dedication of these birders through freezing temperatures and high winds is at all surprising, you may be more surprised to learn where this survey is taking place.
The variety of birds you can see here is pretty surprising, I think, for most folks.
These ponds on the edge of Austin may resemble a nature preserve, but the bigger picture and the smell reveal something else.
We're here at Hornsby Bend, which is the facility that recycles all of Austin's sewage solids, which is a euphemism for poop.
Yes, for Austin's sewage, this is the end of the line, but it is also a laboratory.
I'm Kevin Anderson. I'm a geographer. I work for the Austin Water Utility, and I run the Center for Environmental Research at Hornsby Bend. It's a unique site, 1,200 acres along 3.5 miles of the Colorado River, where all of Austin's sewage and yard waste is recycled. There's a farm and a bottomland forest and treatment ponds that are famous for birding, many different things that we can use for environmental research.
Double-crusted.
The bird monitoring is just the beginning of the research here.
The checklist for Hornsby Bend is over 360 species recorded over the years.
Studies focus on ecology and urban sustainability.
The sewage here doesn't go into a landfill, it gets recycled, and about 1 million gallons a day arrives here.
The biosolids management plan ensures all that waste isn't wasted.
That material comes here through pipelines from our wastewater plants. It goes into a thickening building, and from there it'll go into anaerobic digesters. We heat the sludge to body temperature, and we recreate the ecosystem in our intestines. Disease organisms die off, and digestion continues. Those pipes are capturing the biogas, mainly methane, and heating the digesters.
Once pathogens have been digested naturally, water is sent to the ponds and solids are recycled as fertilizer and compost.
We grow the hay as a way of recycling the nutrients in that manure or biosolids that we put on the fields. The other way we recycle the sewage provides an opportunity to recycle another city waste stream. And that's all the leaves, grass, branches that are collected curbside in the city of Austin. That amounts to 15% of all the city's garbage. And that material, with a portion of the biosolids, is made into compost.
Diverting sludge and yard waste saves hundreds of thousands of dollars in landfill costs. Turning it into compost generates additional funding for the operations at Hornsby Bend, while nourishing soil all over town. All the while, nutrient-rich pond water supports a food chain that draws wildlife and city dwellers who want to see wildlife.
I end up driving all kind of weird ways out here, backwards, forwards. He's about a 10-inch long bird, but he's just very nicely framed in good light.
Greg Lasley is a nature photographer. For Greg, Hornsby Bend is an endless source of subject matter.
Really nice reflection on him in the water. They're really neat looking birds. What else is down here? Well, I spend a lot of time in the vehicle because a vehicle makes a good blind. You just never know what's going to turn up here. There's just a world of discovery to be made if you just take the time to look. It's hard to think of a sewage facility as a gym, but to somebody who's interested in birds, it is. An area like Hornsby, even though we're right near the city of Austin, there's an amazing variety of wildlife. Butterflies, dragonflies, birds, reptiles and amphibians. My philosophy is if you just get out in nature and spend time looking, things show themselves to you. I spent 25 years in law enforcement on the Austin Police Department, and I'm retired from that now. But I would come out here on my days off and look at birds and wildlife. I think anybody that has a job that sometimes can be difficult, it was important for me, good for me, still is. It just rejuvenates me.
Finding natural rejuvenation at places like Hornsby Bend is not unique to Austin. In fact, from West Texas to East and North to South, many cities and towns have opened the gates to similar nature havens in their urban margins.
These kinds of places are known in the parlance as non-traditional habitat in cities.
That's a Lee's turn, isn't it?
I call it marginal nature.
You're right.
Yeah,
Foresters.
Lots of people come to places like sewage ponds to observe nature. As Texas urbanizes, places like Hornsby Bend become more and more important.
Hornsby Bend's proximity to people and the river also make it a good place to learn about the natural world.
Everyone here? So the river is right about here right now.
Every year,
That means it's
we've
probably water.
celebrated Earth Day by doing a field class for a high school group from Austin.
Bluegills have the long patch like this.
They're learning about the biology of the river, the chemistry of the river, and the hydrology of the river.
There we go. We just hit the water inside the well.
8.8.
We gather experts and get the kids literally in the river learning about it.
Keep on swinging, you're doing great. Drag it along the bottom.
For students and everyone else,
You guys see anything?
caring about conservation requires learning about natural resources in the first place.
There you go, you got it.
Get engaged in understanding the Earth's ecology and you'll learn to protect it.
And that understanding can be gained from all sides of a site like Hornsby Bend.
That's your poop. Going to grow some hay. Taking the waste of the city and putting it back into a soil ecosystem, that's sustainable. Oh, that's beautiful.
Beauty, in many forms, can be found in unlikely natural places.
The fundamental reality of Texas is we're an urban state now. Red-bellied woodpecker.
If you're willing to overlook some visual clutter or funky aromas,
The smell's not so bad.
nature may be closer than you think. And it has a lot to offer those who take the time to look.
This series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchases of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $50 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year. Additional support provided by Ram Trucks, built to serve.